Hi, Erin with Karma Cat here. Hope you're doing well. It's been ages, and oh, my hair is all boppy. Oh, anyway, it's been ages. I've missed you guys. It's so sorry. I've just been crazy, crazy, not busy, crazy. Um, I kind of wanted to take a minute. That's really kind of what this is about. Is I really kind of wanted to take a minute to share why I really haven't been filming. So I know there's been the holidays and there's kind of just been a little wackiness and all that, but it's not. It's been a little bit more than that. Um, so there has been the holiday stuff and all that good times, but um, along with that, uh, it's just as I've just been overwhelmed. And oh, sorry, I've got a little bit of head cold, so there's this. I got a little overwhelmed, and I just could not bring myself to film because I was in a really bad headspace. And so I thought I would bring that with me, and I didn't want to do that. And so, um, what was going on was, well, I was just poor. I was really, really poor. And I mean, and it, what comes with that. So let me back up and explain. So, um, I'm on SSD, so it's a fixed amount, and I can't really do much about it. And I own my own home, which um, I adore. And so I've been in my home since 2003, and it doesn't cost much more than renting an apartment. And I have all these animals, so I run a 501c3. So for me to go anywhere, basically, it would kind of disrupt a lot. And so I don't really have a lot of options in that. And so anyway, it's kind of this is like a tricky. It's almost like unraveling a spider web. Um, this so we haven't had heat in 3 years. I guess that's the biggest thing, and it's the trickiest and it's the easiest to explain. And it's not that I'm not saying I don't. It doesn't make me feel bad. It's not like super sad or anything like that. That's not it. It's just it's an issue. Yeah, it needs to be fixed. And I was like, okay, great. We do have a wood stove, so no big deal. It's like, but wood costs too, so I don't use it all the time because we bought some wood, and it's like I save it for when it's like, you know. So we paid $108 to have somebody come and look at the furnace, and I point up because ours is in the attic. I know that's weird. So is our water heater. It's like they're both up there. It's like, okay, whatever. So they looked at it and they're like, yeah, it can't be fixed. And so I'm like, okay, great. How much is a new one? Well, it's $5,000. I'm like, oh, okay, because I can't even afford that at tax return time. So and I find out also my water heater needs to be repaired or replaced, and that is like $1,600, which I can do it at tax return time, but it's going to wipe me out. So I know what I'm going to do for. I mean, my tax return's already spent, which I thought I was going to get gutters, but I guess maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So so that kind of put me in a real bad mood because if you don't have heat, you can't really rent a room, which was my way of coming. I was like, oh, I can clean out this room. Anyway, it like put everything a grinding halt. Everything came to a skid. All my plans went to hell. We didn't have money for Christmas really. It was like really bad. So yeah, I was not in a good mood. Everything else, we have other home repairs that are kind of there, and um, anyway, I spent a lot of time going and trying to get help with our utilities, and so I was waiting in lines and stuff. And so for people that have done that, no, it is very time consuming, and I am exceedingly grateful for that help. It helped tremendously. And so it's something you can only get once a year, but when you get it, it's so helpful. So um, I will say this, that I have a weird philosophical thought process about this. It has to do with like the gratefulness that I've talked about, I think, in other things, where there's like every day I do a thing called my gratefuls. Like at the very end of the day, I do a gratefuls. And even at my worst, I was still kind of did that as I was falling asleep. And I always kind of do the very basics, like I'm grateful for my mattress and my bed and my, and the people. And so I was still doing that, even though I was feeling less grateful about a lot of stuff, but I still did it. And then part of that also would be things that I needed to work on or hoped for. And so some of those things would be, I would ask, could you um, please put an opportunity in my path that will uh, help me give me the resources to keep our home going, or give me the tools to help keep our home afloat. Please help me pay these bills, help me do this, help me do that and stuff. So I was not asking, please just pay this bill, because I thought, well, that's kind of the if you give a man a fish kind of thinking. So I did like a, please just give me the tools so that I can keep it going. Because if I didn't want it just for a month, I really just want this a long-term solution so that I can take care of it myself. And I started, you kind of start to see it, because I always feel like I'm this crazy optimist that believes that the universe will help me if I just believe enough. And I don't know if I'm just stupid and naive, probably, but it's starting to happen. It's like, okay, things are actually opening up and everything's kind of cooling out. And so I think everything's going to be cool. We're good. Everything's fine. I mean, I haven't won the lottery or anything, but anyway, I think we're okay. I think I can start talking to you guys again without losing my mind. So anyway, that being said, got that out of the way so you guys know I didn't abandon the channel or anything. I just was having a really bad day for a really long time. So that's all. That was a really long explanation for something I could have just said I was not having a good day. But I'm going to start a new chapter for us, because I have some interesting stuff that I think you might be interested in, which I'm reaching. My grandfather was in Korea and World War II, and he wrote a book about it, and that's this one right here. And I thought it would be fun if I started to read it. So I think like maybe once a week, I will read a chapter, or just, I don't know how often I'll be able to get to it. But I would like to start doing it on a fairly regular basis. And then in addition, I have a box of his war stuff, like I want to say there's some photos and his papers and excuse me, goodness, hopefully I can edit that out, maybe not. Anyway, and so I was hoping maybe to give the Patreon folks the first look, or I'm not quite sure how I'm going to figure that out, but I'd like for it to be something like that. So I'm going to go over to my Patreon and work with the tiers, because I did the tiers before I even really started doing videos and didn't really have my content going yet. So they're very silly. I don't even know what's what. But so I'm going to change that around and maybe incorporate the stuff that's in there. And I honestly haven't even looked. I do know that my cousin gave me them, and she said you have to wear a dust mask and stuff, because they've been up in a really dusty, gross attic and mousy stuff. And so it's going to be like a little bit interesting. It's going to be a little dicey. But it's going to be interesting. And I don't even know what to expect. So it is of historical value, though. I do know that my son had asked specifically for it, and he's into war history. So if you have any interest in that, this might be something of interest to you. I think with that, I'll leave it right there. And I will wish you all a good day. And I'm so sorry for the long pause. I do apologize. Second thing too, I do have some tincture and topical that needs to be strained, and so in the next couple days I will be doing a video showing that, and I was going to do a tincture use video. So I'm getting back in the swing of it. So thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you all. Bye!